Imagine a bustling planet blasting out massive amounts of cargo to the rest of the galaxy, while receiving almost nothing in return. This scenario illustrates a current account surplus, a situation where a nation, or in this case a planet, exports more goods, services, and net income than it imports. To a casual observer, this constant one-way influx of wealth suggests a society with nearly unlimited purchasing power. Analyzing this data requires looking past the raw volume of cargo. A surplus is properly understood as a proportion of the planet's total output, its percentage of GDP. Even as the headline numbers grow, the mechanics of a massive surplus create a squeeze on the very people producing that wealth, effectively locking them out of the prosperity they are shipping away. Down on the surface, the roots of this export advantage become clear. It begins with the currency. A low exchange rate makes locally produced goods incredibly cheap for foreigners to buy. This is coupled with advantages like high-quality education and advanced technology. The factories here are efficient enough to pump out desirable goods at low costs. External factors play a role as well. When the rest of the galaxy experiences an economic boom, foreign buyers have the high incomes necessary to purchase exported goods in bulk. Finally, wealth flows back through remittances from citizens working on other planets and investment income earned from assets held abroad. This combination of a competitive currency, high domestic efficiency, and rich trading partners creates the perfect conditions for a massive export-driven influx of wealth. Initially, the surplus acts as a powerful economic engine. The unrelenting demand for exports triggers a rapid spike in aggregate demand across the entire planet. Local factories scramble to meet the galactic orders, hiring every available worker they can find. As the line for aggregate demand shoots upward, the unemployment rate plummets toward zero, sparking a period of rapid production growth. In the short term, the surplus maximizes the planet's output and virtually eliminates joblessness. However, maxing out the factories reveals a hidden cost. Because the planet is sending almost everything it makes off-world, the citizens are actually consuming far fewer products than they are producing. On a production possibility curve, the impact is clear. While the planet is producing at its limit, an export-heavy surplus keeps domestic consumption far below its potential. With factories at full capacity and foreign money flooding in, total demand quickly outpaces what the planet can supply at home. This creates demand-pull inflation. That inflationary pressure causes the prices of everyday goods to skyrocket, which rapidly eats away at the citizens' domestic purchasing power. The citizens are working harder than ever, yet they can afford less at home. The trade-off for a high surplus is often a direct strain on the domestic standard of living. The trade system eventually triggers a reaction. To buy export-as goods, those foreign planets must first purchase export-as-specific currency. This graph shows the shift. As foreigners clamor for the currency, the demand curve moves from D to D1, creating a self-correcting mechanism. The equilibrium point shifts from P to P1. The exchange rate rises, making export-as-goods far more expensive for foreign buyers. This creates a divide in the currency's value. At home, inflation is making every dollar buy less. But abroad, the massive demand for that same dollar drives its external exchange rate up, regardless of how little it buys at a local grocery store. As exports become too expensive and orders drop off, imported foreign goods suddenly become cheaper for the locals, causing the surplus to naturally shrink. The global trade system operates like a scale. When a surplus tips the balance too far, the market's price mechanisms force the economy back toward equilibrium. Ultimately, managing a current account surplus requires a careful balance between the benefits of high production and the rising costs of domestic life.